first vehicle I saw was Baker's Casket Company. And I thought, man, this is going to be a heck of a day. But right away I thought about, death is been taken care of for us. And a lot of this coronavirus stuff, what we're wearing this stuff, we're spaced out because we're trying to be careful so we don't get sick, because there's always that potential to die from this sickness. But death has already been taken care of. Jesus took care of that a long time ago. And so we're good. I mean, we still want to be careful and all that, but death has been taken care of for us, because not only did Jesus die, but he rose from the dead. And that's what we're about, and that's what we're just delighted that we were able to share with your kids during the time that they were here. So, just to know, this is kind of weird, isn't it? I feel like we're getting ready for a major bank robbery or something. Okay. So anyway, welcome. Jesse, thanks for streaming this. Jesse Martinson, he goes to Iowa State. He streams our midwinter tournament games. He graduated from Trinity. His mom is our kindergarten aide, Judy Martinson. So Jesse, thank you. We appreciate it. I also really appreciate our teachers. They have done a heck of a job since March 13th with this online instruction and learning stuff. And it's been quite a learning curve for all of us. And they have put in a tremendous amount of time and worked very hard to give our students meaningful instruction from a distance. And I'm just proud to be associated with them. So let's thank our teachers. And here's our 8th grade teacher, Mrs. Fisher.
And well, actually, I thank you so much for all being here. This is not the way 8th graders we wanted to end this year necessarily. But I thank you for the spirit that you moved forward with this in. And it was great to see you in the weekly Zoom meetings and to read your work and your reflections as it came in. And it was a special ending that way, a very unique experience that I pray that you use to just strengthen you and grow from. And before we start our chapel family leader recognitions, then we will ask Pastor Groth to start us off in prayer.
Good morning, everyone. So I'm Pastor Ted Groth. I might not know all of you. My family and I came to Trinity last October. So for this graduation, I'm looking out and I'm saying, also, this is how they do it at Trinity? This is my first one. I sure hope that you're the first and the last, but who have to do it like this. But God be praised. He's brought you through this year, and we do want to begin with prayer and call on God's name. So please bow your heads in prayer. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. God be with us as we mark this milestone today for these graduates and for their families, whom you have fearfully and wonderfully made. We praise you for this day, and we praise you for each one of the graduates and for their families as well. Dear God, we read in the Bible that 1,000 years for you are like a day like 1,000 years. You are the creator, and you exist outside of time, outside of space. But we also know, for you have shown this to us in your word, we also know that you entered our time and space in your Son, Jesus Christ. And his life, death, and resurrection, his ascension to your right hand, his promise that he is with us always and that he is coming again. All of this comforts us. Dear God, today is a big day for all those gathered here. Not only the students and the families, but teachers as well, the principal, all of us here. And we pray that this morning you will be with us and bless us as we collect today the memories and the affirmations of all that has happened in this past school year and going back many years to bring these young people to their 8th grade graduation. As we collect all these memories, we lay before you our grateful hearts as a thank offering, for truly without you none of this would be possible. We praise you and we thank you and we give glory to your name, praying all these things in Jesus' holy name. Amen.
Okay, so just a little explanation again for 8th graders. You're very comfortable with this, but we may have some people watching that don't know. And parents, just to tell you, chapel families here at Trinity are honestly one of the most special things that I witness each year. It is so neat to see our 8th grade leaders looking out for their kindergarten kiddos to their 1st grade, 2nd grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade, and 7th grade. They are a family. 8th graders, I heard that over and over again in your prayer journals. I see that on your signs up here. One of the things that you really reflect on, and one of the things that you said you're most thankful for, is your family here at Trinity. And it really is that, and there's nothing that exhibits that more than our chapel families. Getting to see you in worship with these younger kids that look up to you, and they see you praising your Creator, and they want to emulate that. It's a bond that I hope you guys hold near and dear for a long time. As a parent and a teacher, there's nothing that just tugs at those heartstrings like that, to see that. So 8th graders, I have been incredibly proud of you as chapel family leaders this year. I would say it's been a while that I have seen the little ones just want to cling to the 8th graders as much as I have this year. They loved you, and they loved you because you did your best to model Christ. We're far from perfect, and we can't do that, but that's what you gave to them this year. So as just a little reminder of all of that to you, we have several things up here for you to take with you when you get called up by your chapel family teacher. There is a sign. For those of you that submitted that, there are all your pictures and your advice to the kids at Trinity and what you'll take away from Trinity with you and all the things you've been involved in. There is also this wonderful memory cube that Mrs. Howell and Mrs. Smith worked on. There's the TLS logo, and you'll always remember your Bible verse for the year because that's on there as well. There's a picture of you. Your school picture is on there, and a picture with you and your chapel family. And then also a picture of the cross of the entire school. So I pray that this will be a lovely reminder for you of your time at Trinity and ultimately what's the most important, and that's the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus Christ, and that you are a redeemed child of God. Then, after that, you will also see that there is a DVD up here. Carmen can't use yours right now. It has your name on it, but this is your 8th grade class video. It breaks my heart a little bit that we can't be together while watching it. But please go home and watch this. I may have sneaked a look at it last night. Okay, not a look. I watched it twice. Parents, first of all, excellent picture selection from the serious to the cute to the I am so proud with how many half-naked potty training pictures are on here as well. There was an excellent selection of precious memories and embarrassment for 8th grade students, so that's great. But honestly, Ruth Laubrens, Noah's aunt, put this together for us this year, and it's wonderful. So I just pray blessings on you and your family as you watch this together, and take that time to get really sad and emotional, looking at them from these little itty-bitties to the young, wonderful young adults that they've become. It's really special, so definitely take the time to watch this as well. So those are the 3 things that 8th graders you will be picking up your first time up here. Okay, so without further ado, let's get our first 8th grader up here, and it just happens to be mine, so great timing here. Alyssa, come on up. So I think all the teachers in the building would agree that the only thing I'm sad about with Alyssa is that we didn't get her longer. That really is what breaks my heart the most. Alyssa is this wonderful young woman of Christ. Alyssa, you really are. And I know you hate this right now because this makes her anxious and things like that. I get that. But Alyssa is this cool, calm, collected. You would never know the depth of emotion that is under her. Alyssa, the love that you have, the compassion for others, your dedication and attention to detail is there. With that anxiety too, but she feels so deeply in here. And so it's been a joy to get to watch that over the years. And you see it in the classroom with her dedication and attention to detail that I know you have. And you saw that in her chapel family with this quiet, loving presence that she was. And those of you that made it out to some basketball games, I loved the new side that we got to see of Alyssa this year with that fierce aggressiveness out on the basketball court that she showed as well. And that is just a small glimpse to all that is you, Alyssa. And I guess the one thing that I do know, I know you're a little anxious about moving on and going someplace different and new, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, Alyssa. You got this. But most importantly, God's got you. So that's what goes with you, that you are more than ready for this, and God's got you through all of it. Rely and depend on that. And we love you, and we'll miss you, but God's blessings to everything you do at Trinity. You're going to soar. Good job.
Good morning. Thanks for being here, everybody. It's so nice to see you. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Emily Root, and I teach kindergarten. And I can vouch for what Mrs. Fisher said. Your kindergartners love you guys. I don't know if you know this, but you are celebrities. Like, anytime you come through the hallway, they have to stare and look at you. There's my chapel leader. So they love you guys, and you will be so very missed. I hope you know that. All right, Miss Carmody, come on up. And let's stand on this side so your parents can see us. You stand there, Miss Fisher, sorry. All right, Carmody, I love you, and I got a little emotional writing this. I want to acknowledge that I know this has not been an easy year for you physically, and I'm sure emotionally too, but you have handled it with such grace, and I want you to know that I greatly admire you. I would never know there was anything going on with you, and I truly mean that. I want to hug you. So don't get mad at me, Mom. I love this. Don't make me cry. I'm a crier, and I love you. Sorry, I don't want to suffocate you, but I truly mean that. I admire you, and you have handled this with such grace. And you guys, every day, this girl had a smile on her face. Truly, and not just during the chapel family times. I'd see you in the hallway. You always had a smile. You were so friendly and kind to your children and to everybody that I saw you with, and I have just loved getting to know you. And I can also tell you're a big sister because you are so good with those kiddos, man. So you have been such a blessing to our school and such a blessing to our chapel family. And like I said, I have so much admiration for you, and I'm just so proud of you and truly impressed. And I hope you know that we will miss you, and we hope you come back and visit us. And just like Mrs. Fisher said, you got this, and more importantly, God's got you. And I'm glad that you come to Trinity Church so that I can come and still see you. So I love you, and you've been an absolute blessing this year. God's blessings in high school. Sorry again.
I don't get much of a break here at the beginning. Brandon, come on down. We'll go to this side since your parents are there. So, I don't know, I'm just going to acknowledge the fact that being a parent in this class, with the student, in this class, has just given me a different depth of knowledge of these kids. And I really have gotten to watch Brandon since he was a little bitty. When we moved to Kansas City for the year, I remember making videos with the boys and sending them to the polls of, we miss you, Brandon and Tyler, and that really has been the relationship that our family has had with Brandon and with Tyler and with Mom and Dad. I remember those things from the get-go, the ice bucket challenge, push-up challenges, all of those types of things that we've gotten to interact on a personal level with as well. And Brandon, I've loved that. About seeing you on a side outside of school and seeing you inside school too. A side that I think was a little bit, not challenging at all, but just fun and unique for Brandon this year was he had a very lively kindergarten kiddo. That kiddo loved to ask questions, and he wanted to know why, and he liked to comment on things, and it was great. And Brandon handled that with such patience and ease, and that was really neat, Brandon, to get to see that other side. I've seen the dedicated and determined student in the classroom. Has this quiet confidence about him, and you're ready to go on and achieve great things. And I guess that's a blessing for me as well, Brandon. I'm really excited to watch you continue to grow at Marion and just flourish with everything that you've done here. So God's blessings on your time at Marion. You're going to do great things there. Congratulations.
Well, since this is my first year, I haven't gotten to spend a lot of time with my students. But just a few things. Mason. And I wrote mine down because I would forget if I didn't. Mason, you're standing here at the end of your 8th grade year, having accomplished so much in your short time. So many things you've learned over your years at Trinity. This year, too, you've been given the privilege of using those skills to lead your chapel family. I've seen you be so gentle with the young ones and also a great example of how to listen and learn what is being taught. I also have the privilege of watching you grow in confidence in math class. You challenged respectfully and you humbled yourself when you corrected. You worked diligently in your studies and were persistent. I pray that you continue to challenge what seems wrong so you don't get caught up in false truth. Mason, I pray that you also take the Trinity gift, your personal walk with God, and not be afraid to share what Jesus has done for all humans on the cross. Mason, love others as God has loved you. In 1 John 3:18, Jesus says, little children, let us not love with word or with tongue, but in deed and truth. Your actions are what people see. Use the golden rule from Luke 6:31. Treat others the same way you want them to treat you. One last thing, Mason. Let everything you say and do bring honor and glory to God. In Matthew 5:16, it says, let your light shine before men in such a way that they may see your good works and glorify your Father who is in heaven. Mason, congratulations, and I hope the best for you when you head out to high school.
Gavin, come on up. As I'm sure everyone in this room can agree with me, middle school is tough. And each of us probably had, besides the toughness of middle school, challenges in our personal lives that added to that toughness. And I just think back to all the years I've had the opportunity to teach all of you, but with Gavin, and I know he has experienced some of those struggles, but I have seen tremendous growth in you, Gavin, and it makes me so proud. I think back to some 6th grade days where you were the student who may not really have wanted to do your work, and you probably don't really want to still now, but I've seen growth, and I've seen you just rise to those challenges and become a better student throughout your middle school years amongst all of those challenges. Gavin, with your chapel family, you also had some rambunctious kiddos, and you did very well with that, and I think you connected on a personal level with many of them, and they listened to you, and they enjoyed you and loved you. I know, Gavin, you're a hard worker. Dad's put you to work already, and I'm sure you've been very successful with that, and you are driven with those things. So I know that you are going to go far through high school and everything that you do in life. I just encourage you to stay strong, to avoid temptation, and just be the young man that God is developing you to be, and continue to be Gavin through all that you do. Congratulations, Gavin.
Hi, I'm Ann Halverson, and I'm a 2nd grade teacher, so I also didn't get to know the chapel students that well, but I had Noah. You want to come up? You can stand here where your mom can see you. When I was thinking of what to say about Noah, one Bible verse came to mind, and it is one that my dad had above his dresser, and Noah actually reminds me of my dad. And it was from Micah 6:8. He has shown you, O man, what is good, and what does the Lord require of you, but to do justice, and to love kindness, and to walk humbly with your God. So I have 2 chapel families, and I realized as the year went on, I probably wasn't spending as much time with one, and that was the one that Noah was in charge of, because he was just quiet and dependable. And I realized when I went to think about it, he was just like doing his job calmly and quietly, and the boys were just following in with that. He was modeling that for them, just being steady and dependable, and the boys were taking on that attitude, especially the 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade boys. I could really see that in them, and I just super appreciate that in you. That was really a gift that you gave to them. And that carried over not just for our worship, but for when we did activities and games too. And Noah has been here for 9 years. Has been involved in all kinds of things. But I kind of saw him this year that he ventured out and did some things maybe outside of his comfort zone. I know one of them I heard was soccer. But I saw him like kind of doing more things. And I was really encouraged by that, because I just thought what an adventure he's heading on to into high school. And I do know, talking to him, that he was excited about being Grandpa Swinehart, right? And he had that voice down, and you're all going to miss it, but he did great with that. So and those are the things that we kind of miss. So you're heading to Kennedy, and I pray for you that you continue your faithful and humble walk with the God that you've gotten to know so well here at Trinity, and just continue to live in that grace and boldness that he gives us. Thanks, Noah.
Jordy, would you take your mask off for just a minute? I just want to make sure it's you. Okay. And I want everybody to remember what you look like. Okay. You growing your hair out? A lot of us are. Okay. I'm trying to too. Best kind of discipline is self-discipline. And Jordy's self-disciplined, but it really showed up this 4th quarter because, we weren't taking grades, and technically you really didn't have to turn anything in if you chose not to. And Jordy stayed with it to the very end. Maybe a little parental discipline, but mostly, maybe a lot of parental discipline. But even more than that, knowing Jordy, it was self-discipline, and that's the best kind of discipline there is, and he's got a lot of that. And we saw that throughout the school year. I saw it when I got to be with him in basketball, and I'm glad we had basketball. And by the way, speaking of basketball, Jordy, I really got reminded of how important it is to make the most of every moment, because we don't know when our moment is our last moment. And that's why we just got to live in the moment. Prepare for the future, but we have to live in the moment, because we don't know what the next moment's going to bring or what the next moment's going to take away from us. And I know a big disappointment for Jordy was that we weren't able to go to nationals this year in basketball. So that was something we didn't get, and that's why we just want to value everything, especially the people that we love and the people that love us so much. There's no little things, Jordy. Everything matters, and if it doesn't matter, then we shouldn't spend time with it. So there's no little things. And finally, and this is coming, never settle. God's given you a lot. He's blessed you tremendously, and he did not settle on you. He gave up his best for you. You know that. So give your best for him by developing the gifts and abilities that he's given you. Don't settle. God bless you, and I'm just really glad that we got to have some time together here at Trinity. God bless you, Jordy.
AJ, come on up. Hey, AJ.
middle school, I did not have the privilege of being your teacher, but I really have enjoyed getting to know you better this year. I think you would agree that we had a fun and challenging chapel family. And I've heard other people say their kindergartners were a little challenging, but I think we pulled the price on that one, don't we? It was a fun year. But I was very impressed with how well you handled those little ones in church, and you took your role seriously. And he was great with those kids. And they loved and really looked up to you, and you really are their role model. I also had fun watching you this year play soccer, football, and especially basketball. You really gave it all on the court, and you cheered on and encouraged your teammates. So I really appreciate that positive example that you set for your team, and you truly exemplify what it means to be a Trinity Trojan. I'm glad you came to Trinity, and know that you will do great at Jefferson in high school. Isaiah 40 verse 31 says, "Those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary, and they will walk and not be faint." So hold on to your faith and soar. And know that Jesus is always with you, AJ, and you will always be a part of our Trinity family. Congratulations.
Christian, want to come up? I am your sports lab. I'm a third grade teacher, so this is my first year of having chapel families and being at Trinity. So I did not get to know Christian that well. I didn't have him in my class, but I did get to know him for the last year. So, Christian, even though I was one of the new teachers, this year you treated me like you've known me for years. You came into my room with your siblings one day and cleaned my desk without even asking. That just shows that you are a selfless person, and I really saw that with your being chapel leader this year also. I wish you nothing but the best, and I'm sure I'll get to hear a lot about you next year with having your sister in my class. So, thank you.
Emma.
Emma, you know, this is sort of an upside down year. And so what I did is I took your name and I put it upside down. And the two M's turned to W's. And I was in bed when I was thinking of this. And all of a sudden what came into mind was willing worker. And I thought that describes Emma perfectly. She's always willing and she's a worker. I know she's done a lot of things this year that were sort of outside of her box. Of normal things. And I know the first day with the chapel family, she said, you know, this isn't my thing. But she did such an excellent job, I was really proud of her. And then we had 8th grade chapel service, and she had a part, and I thought, wow, that's my quiet Emma. And she did an excellent job with that. And everything that she does an excellent job. Then in foods class, she tried everything we made in foods class, and she's still living. And so she did an excellent job with that. Now, she's done other things. She's been here for 9 years, and I know she's participated in lots of activities. And this year, I think primarily it was cheerleading and band, is that right? And I know she's done a good job with that. But one of the special things that happened to Emma this year is that she was baptized and became a child of God. And that was a wonderful event in Emma's life. And the Holy Spirit has filled her with many blessings and encouraged her growth in love for God. Then also, as Emma goes to high school, I don't know exactly what high school she's going to choose, but I know she's going to do a great job there, whatever she does and whatever school she works at. And I want her to know that, I forgot to tell, for 9 years, I'd come and often Dad would be bringing Emma to school, and Emma would come over to me and give me a hug. Emma is a hugger. And, you know, I worry at home and I run around and I try to get everything in order before I come, and so I'd be sort of harried. And then Emma would come and give me a hug and fill me with joy for the day. And I just wanted to, she's given me so many hugs, I wanted to present her with some hugs so that she could continue to share her hugs. Thank you for that, Emma. And I want Emma to know that even though she goes on to high school, that Trinity is always her home, and she's always welcome here, and you'll always have a special place in my heart. God bless you.
Come on up, Jack. I'm Rebecca Matson, the first grade teacher, so like Mrs. Root, Mrs. Halverson, I didn't have the opportunity to have Jack in my class because I've only been here for a short time, but in the time that we had together this year as a chapel family, I was just so impressed with you, Jack. The way you made all the kids in our family feel welcome and special, and the younger kids, you engaged with them, and not a lot of guys, not a lot of 8th graders feel comfortable doing that, and you made each and every person in our chapel family feel special and welcome, so I appreciated that about you. So I wish you the best in your beyond 8th grade journey, and I hope you enjoy your little token of appreciation. Thanks, Jack.
Miss Jenna, come on up. And while you're getting your stuff, I'm going to start talking because I tend to be chatty. So I am relatively new here. This is only my second year at Trinity, and I know, Jenna, you're relatively new too. I believe you joined us in middle school. So we haven't known each other for a super long time, but I have just loved getting to know you. Right off the bat, I could see that Jenna had great hair and great style, so I want to acknowledge that. But more importantly, I want you to know that you are even more beautiful on the inside, and I truly mean that. You were knit together with such care by a creator who loves you. So remember that wherever you go. He had blessed you with such a caring and sweet nature, and that really shined through the entire year. You took such good care of your little ones and your chapel family, and I loved seeing that. And like I said, it's been an absolute joy getting to know you, and you will be missed. So please come back. Don't forget about us. And I wish you God's richest blessings in high school. And I wish I could hug you, so air hug. Thanks, Jenna.
I am Josie. I love your hair, by the way. I'm not brave enough to do that. I know I need it, so. All right, Josie, I wrote mine down too because I don't remember what I wanted to say to you. So, Josie, here you are. You're graduating from Trinity Lutheran School. You've learned many things here, from your ABCs and 1, 2, 3s to reading and writing and how to have friends and how to be a friend. This year, you were given the opportunity of putting all these things you've learned into practice with the privilege of leading your chapel family. You learned how to direct and redirect the little ones when they didn't quite know how to do chapel. I watched you do that on many occasions. You were a great example of how to listen and learn what was being taught. You used your gentleness to be a great leader. Josie, I pray that as you leave this school, that you take with you the Trinity gift, your walk with God. Be the one who is different, and be the one who lets your light shine. In Matthew 5:16, Jesus says, "Let your light shine before men in such a way that you may see your good works and glorify your Father who is in heaven." God does not promise an easy life. He doesn't say the road of faith is going to be without hardships or heartaches. But he promises that he will never leave you and that he will be there for you. In Hebrews 13:5b, it says, "For he himself has said, I will never desert you, nor will I forsake you." One final note, Josie. In Proverbs 3:5-6, it says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understandings. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your path straight." Congratulations, Josie. Best wishes to you.
This was my very first 5th grade class and my first ever class as a teacher. I got my first job here at Trinity and I'm still here. So Maggie, I'm going to keep it short and sweet because I'm a crier and I don't want to start crying. So, I have enjoyed getting to see you grow from the hyper-talkative girl who couldn't stay in her seat when she was in my class to the still spunky young woman that you have become as an 8th grader. I hope you continue to stay your fun-loving self throughout your years in high school and beyond. God's blessings as you make that transition next year, and I wish I could give you a hug, as Emily said, but we'll do it during hugs. Thank you. Congratulations.
Okay, Emerson. I think all of us realize how profoundly we miss the big things come to mind first of all, the things we miss from this, being quarantined. But then I think I've realized being at school these last few days that it's some of the little things that make me teary-eyed. And I realize as soon as I start thinking about Emerson, it is her big, joyous smile. And Wednesdays, I have 2nd graders, it was hustle, hustle, hurry, get into the gym, get ready to Chapel Family, and I'd walk in and I would see Emerson's big, bright smile, and it just like would set the mood for going into worship. And every single Wednesday, she had that big, joyous smile. So she brought that passion and joy to it, and that was such a gift, so thank you for that, Emerson. And I have to say that my younger kids, we have a very active chapel family, didn't we, Emerson? They adored her, and she just was engaged with them all the time, and I really thank you for that. And it was fun to watch you. You've only been here for a few years. I didn't realize that. We came about the same time. Did you know that? And all her involvement in sports, but especially cheerleading, and her quickness and athletic ability that I found out came from her gymnastics that she brought here to Trinity for her cheerleading, and it was so fun to watch her. So I just think about you heading to Kennedy, and I just hope that that joy that you have and that passion for life and that enthusiasm, just to realize that we constantly can live in that as we live in our God's grace, and that He is with you always wherever you go and will always be there for you. And because we're secure in that, we can just let our light shine like you do. So thank you, Emerson.
And I'm back again. Jack. Just like with Maggie, it's been a blessing to watch you grow since 5th grade, looking out at all of your classmates and remembering the first time that, oh, great. Okay. The first time that I saw all of you. Yeah. You were a great class, and I will always remember you guys as my first, and I just hope that you continue to share God's love and the blessings that He has given you with everyone as you go on to high school. So God's blessings in that journey. Thanks, Jack.
Thanks for that, Katie. Macy, come on up.
I agree with Mrs. Smith that this really is a special class, and it's fun to look out at all of you today. All right, Macy Young with an E. You may be last in the alphabet, but you are the very first person that comes to my mind when I think about what it means to be a Trinity student. All right? You represent our school, our values, and what we stand for so well. You are an outstanding student who not only completes your work, but does so with quality and care. You know that hard work and effort pay off, and you are the type of student that every teacher loves to have. You have been blessed with a kind, generous, and helpful spirit, and are such a good role model to those around you. Our school motto is to know Christ and to make Christ known. And Macy, it is evident that Christ lives in your heart, and your faith shines through in all that you do. Proverbs 31 verse 25 says, "She is clothed with strength and dignity, and she laughs without fear of the future." You have a great future ahead of you, Macy, and I cannot wait to watch your leadership shine through at Kennedy. Thank you for representing Trinity so well. Congratulations.
Okay, we have some special recognition at this time. And this ought to be interesting because I forgot my glasses. That's what we're going to do. We're going to have Mrs. Fisher read this because she doesn't need glasses. But this is the President's Education Award. So I'm going to let Mrs. Fisher explain this to you.
Okay, this is a letter from President Trump about the Presidential Academic Award, I believe is what it's called, that is given out to 8th grade students. At our school, we look for students that had to test on the Iowa assessments at the 85th percentile or higher in both 6th, 7th, and 8th grade in all three. And then we also look at students that have made principals list, which is having a GPA of 3.67 or higher for all 4 quarters, each of their 3 years in middle school. So that's what this recognition is about, and I'll read the letter here from President Trump. Congratulations to the recipients of the 2020 President's Education Award. Over the past year, the individuals who have earned this distinguished honor have exhibited exceptional work ethic and determination. Our nation will soon look to these future leaders for guidance, and I am confident they will continue to build a stronger and more prosperous future for our great country. The First Lady joins me in applauding the educators, administrators, parents, and other community leaders who have been there every step of the way to encourage and uplift these bright young men and women. As these talented students pursue their dreams and passions, we send our best wishes for continued success. Keep up the great work.
So we have 3 recipients this year. Actually, these 3 years, because as Mrs. Fisher said, 85th percentile or higher for all 3 years, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade on their Iowa assessments, and then being on the principal's list for 12 straight quarters. And our first recipient is Brandon Cole. And Christian Hodgkins. And Macy Young.
We'll let them take pictures if you would like.
And while pictures will be taken, hey Jess, is this going across the world? Wow. You might be hearing from some people. Congratulations, you guys. We were really trying to figure out what to do for graduation this year because typically our graduation is part of our worship service, and that was going to be this coming Sunday, but we're still not able to worship in our building or be together in church. And we wanted some kind of way to graduate our students. And it's hard to say goodbye, but it's an accomplishment to get through here and meet the requirements that we have here at Trinity. So congratulations to all our graduates and parents. Thank you so much for being a part of our Trinity family and for letting your kid be a student in our school. We're grateful to you for that, and we're grateful for them. So God's blessings on all of you.
Okay, 8th graders, when I call your name, you can come up and receive your diploma from Mr. Mueller. Remember, please stay on one of the blue lines up here. It'll be alphabetical, so 8th graders, I would just say start in the back, way far corner there, so you can head that way, and then we'll just line up as we go. On to our graduation. Our first graduate, Alyssa Brandt. Harmony Catman. Brandon Cole. Mason Cole. Gavin Evans. Noah Farmer. Jordan Fisher. AJ Hall. Christian Hodgins. Emma Kais. Jack Meyer. Jenna Mullen. Josie Oft. Maggie Primrose. Emerson Sikora. Jack Swires. Macy Young. Before we welcome you, 8th grade graduates, I want you to look out at all that support that you've received over the years. To parents that made sacrifices and loved you so much that they brought you here. Teachers that have prayed and loved and worked with you over the years. We congratulate you today, but we also thank you, parents and teachers, for the efforts you've put in. Please join me in congratulating our graduating class of 2020. Okay, graduates, you may take a seat. We would like to end our time together just like we started it, giving it all back to God. So we would like to end in prayer together. Pastor, would you like to come close us with prayer?
I often say on a day like today, I feel like a proud dad. I know they're your kids, but I kind of claim them too, and I feel like they're my kids too. when I came on the scene, this class was in the 2nd grade, and I have been really thinking back over the years, over all the growth and changes that I have seen, the maturity, and I know we have made a big deal out of the chapel family, which is, I think, a very special thing that we have here at Trinity. But I wanted to say to you parents that I have watched your kids shepherd the little kids and have watched this admiration from afar. But I have watched your kids really step up to the plate and take care of things big and small with the various age groups in their chapel family. And so many times I have thought that that reflects your fine parenting of your children. So especially, and I'm a dad, so I get this, but especially when you think they don't get it, they do, they get it. And you are important to them, and they model the fine parenting that you have given to them. That is a real gift. There's a quote from the Large Catechism that says, God, parents, and teachers can never be sufficiently thanked nor repaid. And I think we can all agree that we can never thank or, quote, pay God enough for all he's done for us. And thank God we don't have to pay him for that. Jesus paid the price. But parents and teachers, what you do is so self-sacrificial, and it reaps eternal benefits in the lives of your children. You can never be sufficiently thanked nor repaid, but I want to take this moment to say thank you and wish you God's blessing, all of you. 8th graders, we are so proud of you, and I want, in the worst kind of way, to give you all a great big hug. I can't right now, but when I can, I'll give you a 2 or 3, okay? But in the meantime, just know that you always have a special home in our hearts and in the Trinity family. And now receive the benediction which comes from our Lord. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine on you and be gracious to you. The Lord look upon you with favor and give you his peace. Amen. Thank you.
That will conclude our time together today then. We thank you so much for coming out and joining us today and making this as special as we can in the ways that we have to in today's world. So thank you. 8th graders, we're so proud of you, and we do look forward to all that you're going to accomplish in the future years. But please know that while you're leaving our building, you don't leave our hearts. We think about you, we pray about you. That continues on as you leave these doors. So congratulations. We will come by and dismiss families, so we're not all trying to leave at the same time. So just come and wait for dismissal. If you have to go, though, for work or something, go ahead and take off. We understand. Thank you guys again for coming out.